Warning: the content in this video is for entertainment and educational purposes only. I'm not a financial advisor, and nothing shared here should be considered financial advice. Trading futures, stocks, or any financial instrument involves significant risk and may not be suitable for all investors. I highly recommend consulting a financial advisor and starting with paper trading, simulation, and doing your own research before risking real money. All right, greetings everybody. This is A-Team Trading Strategies. Welcome to our weekly technical analysis for the upcoming week. Today's date is June 1st. So I just figured this time we'll just start from a top-down kind of view, see where we're at in the market today. If you'll notice, our last 3-month candle, this is on the 3-month time frame, had a big wick to the bottom, right? So this shows me over the next few months, even though the RSI is kind of high, but it's been high since 2020. I mean, we're in a kind of a new market now. So I wouldn't be surprised if we just keep hanging up out at the top of the RSI on the 3 monthly time frames. So I expect us to reach all-time highs pretty soon. My guess is it still is. It's going to be early this month, so before the 15th, I imagine, in the next 2 weeks. Next week, I wouldn't be surprised, but maybe it'll take a couple of weeks or so. All right, so moving down to the 1 month, we're going to be not as oversold. So, as I said, for the next month's candle, I wouldn't be surprised with a big green candle right here. And as you see, there's that big wick. We had that big dip in April. You know, we had that whole Liberation Day tariff thing. But again, as I said, predetermined moves. Never let a good crisis go to waste. News just provides momentum. It doesn't determine the direction. The big money does. And these institutions, they got a lot of 401k money coming in. Now, there are a lot of folks saying, well, there's going to be a lot of boomers retiring too. Okay, well, it might equal out, but I don't imagine they're all going to be cashing out everything at once. They might. But I'd imagine most of them are probably going to be just passing it down to their children, you know, trying to build generational wealth, be the next Rothschilds or whatever. That's what Americans do. All right, so the weekly, got plenty of room on the RSI. So next week, I'm expecting a green week again. And it's probably going to surprise a lot of people. You know, some people are stubborn. They think they're smart and they're just going to keep shorting and losing money, even though this thing just keeps on going up and up and up. All right, so that brings us to the daily. Now, what do I expect at open tonight? I'm really not sure, to tell you the truth. I mean, we got 2 doges here in a row, right? Well, let's get rid of that channel. I don't know why that's there. So, yeah, we kind of dipped, you know. So you see this. This was the China pause, I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was. We got this China pause, and we kind of rocketed up. I was expecting to pull back sooner, but it came later. Yeah, but it did come later. So there was our pullback, and we came all the way down to 5,760 just about, and then we went all the way back up, right? All the way back up and a pullback again, and kind of stalled out. At the end of the day here, we had the dip first, and then we came up and then came back down. So I'm not so sure how much we count that wick to the top for. I don't really count it as much. It's just end of day action there before the weekend. As I said, you know, even with Trump talking about tariffs and not playing nice with China anymore, I don't know. I think the market makers have already taken advantage of what they're going to take advantage of. They've gotten in their long positions and did a lot of buying here. Got into a lot of long positions here on the way up. So, and they're hedged, right? They're also hedged too on these pullbacks. So my opinion is we'll be headed up if we come up to 6,000 and reject off of there again. Then I expect a deeper pullback, probably down to 5,600. But honestly, I don't see that happening. Um, End of month action here, the last 2 days of that week. So yeah, I'm figuring we go right up into into the 6,000s, and maybe not all time highs next week, but it's possible. It's entirely possible. Next 5 days could just be big green, big green, big green. 1%, 2% days on the S&P 500. Again, if not, then we're going to be in a little bit of danger of a pullback, a greater pullback to 5,600. And my thesis on entering into all-time highs will have been proven wrong. But that's okay. I don't mind being proven wrong. We just roll with what we got. All right, so I'm just going to clean up this chart a little bit. We'll put that down there. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so tonight I'm expecting, let's look at the 5 minute. Yeah, so tonight possibly I'd expect a gap up, come down, and then go back right up, right through the previous high of day to open up higher on Monday. That's my prediction. Again, I could be proven wrong. Doesn't really matter. So we've adjusted our supply zones and demand zones, right? So now here's what I got on the chart. We'll go back to the 1 day. Get a bigger view here. So let us see here. Okay, so I got the supply zone, right? From about 6,000 up to 61.77.5, the all-time high. And after that, it's unknown. Maybe a lot of sellers up here. Don't be surprised with the sharp increase or did a pullback. Probably late June, which is fine by me. And then demand zone 1, we are right in the middle of it right now. So again, it's kind of uncertain. Don't have any real clarity, but I think the way up has been shown to us. I think, yeah, just a little bit of consolidation here, higher level consolidation than previous. And yeah, I think we're on our way up. All right, I think we have the dip we need, all the dip that the market makers needed. And I think they still got more cash to put in, and we'll be on our way. Now, demand zone 2 is shortened up here. So if we do come in, I'd expect, if we break, say 50, 57, let's get a little bit more precise here. All right, let's see. If we break 57, 58, or let's say 57.60, right, we'll be coming down and pulling back to 5,600, just around that area. If we break that area, then careful. My whole bull run thesis could be obliterated here, and we'll be on our way down into a bear market, possibly into the fall. And we'll be down over the summer. But yeah, down here, yeah, who knows what happens down here? We could just go down to discover, the 4,000s again, the upper 4,000 range. So, but my prediction is we bust up into the supply zone next week, 6,000s plus, possibly all-time highs by the later end of the week. If not, then next week we'll be at all-time highs. I expect to see some trade deals coming through pretty soon, as soon as they come in, maybe with the EU and other nations. While it is a legal dispute right now, currently the tariffs are on, and I don't believe the other nations will take a chance because they know that Trump and the Republicans, they pretty much have the House, the Senate, and the presidency. So if it comes down to Congress having to make trade deals and stuff and tariffs, whatever. I say I'm all for it. I don't like the executive being able to do whatever they want, but if it comes down to that, I think these other nations are wise enough to know that it will eventually happen anyway. So expect some bullish catalysts. I don't see anything negative on the horizon really to bring us down like it did on Liberation Day. That's all just done, priced in. And all the bad macroeconomic factors like bond market yields and, our debt, all that, it's already priced in. I don't see anything going on there. And again, I believe the institutions, they know that too. And they got to get their cash into something. And it's always going to be uh, the S&P 500 stocks in the long run. In the long run. That and gold. But I do expect a pullback on gold. Um, I believe that move on gold was mostly retail peeps moving their investments out of the stocks because they all freak out. Retail freaks out. That's what they do, and they put it into gold. But come, come this coming month, I see them all going back into the S&P 500, pulling out their money in gold, a lot of it, and putting it back in the S&P 500 with the institutions. And so I predict gold, the GC futures, to come back down to 3,000, and we will be in all-time highs by the end of the month. In any case, that's my technical analysis for this week, June 1st. Happy June, everybody, and be blessed. This is A-Team Trading Strategies, signing off.